Hi guys, I'm Fan of Fat, both best biggest fan, and before we start the video, I gotta apologize. If you see my videos early, my comments are turned off. Not because of the ice joke that I made in the last video, but because it happens time to time. I don't know how the comments keep turning off, but I will try and but I'm sorry that happened, and that happened just immediately. Anyways, let's go on to the video. If you see my last video, I talked about, if you see my last video, I talked about Poppy Playtime, Chapter 5, and my ideas on it. Here, I'm going to be talking about two theories that I have about how is Harley Sawyer still alive, and how Miss Gracie is a Lily Love Braids. So now, I'll tell you my theory on Miss Gracie being Lily Love Braids. Okay. There's two recordings. First of all, Miss Gracie begging for her life when she's with the toys. And the toys being like, oh, we're not gonna hurt you. So I do feel like that's the point where Miss Gracie got kidnapped. And also you might be saying, well, Lily Love Braids was already made. We'll go on to that later. Anyways, the second recording is with Miss Gracie seeing herself on the TV and then going insane, seeing that she loves tea parties, she loves her friends, and going cuckoo. And this is the same voice as Lily Love Braids. You might be asking, how does this even make any sense? Well, let me explain. You see, if we open up this chest, the heart-shaped chest, we see Miss Gracie's skeleton. And if we look, there's two holes in her skull. One big enough to possibly have Miss Gracie's brain. And my theory is Harley Sawyer turned her into Lily Love Braids. The file that we see is about her hair. And theoretical stuff. And this was made in 1995. And The Hour of Joy came around the same year. So Lily Love Braids was just already a skin suit for anybody to make. And because Harley Sawyer is a professional at this, he took the prototype's command and turned Miss Gracie into Lily Love Braids as revenge. This would explain why the tape exists, and honestly, I think that Miss Gracie deserved it. Anyways, so what I'm saying is that, let's review. Miss Gracie got kidnapped by the toys during the Hour of Joy, and instead of being killed, she got even a fate worse than death. She ended up having Harley Sawyer crack her skull with two holes, and then take out her brain, that he then used to put inside of Lily Love Braid's body, and then use the same videos that the toys were forced to watch of Miss Gracie to Miss Gracie herself. This made Miss Gracie go cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo until Lily Love Braids. It also explains it can't be the prototype because we already seen his work and it's vile to say the least. Harley Sawyer has enough experience for the job, and I do think that he is the best candidate for making Lily Love Braids from Miss Gracie. So now let's go into my Harley Sawyer theory. You see, if we look at his containers, I feel like that Harley Sawyer was already dead. And that the vital organs used were actually fakes. The reasoning why for this is that we froze his vital organs. Meaning that Harley Sawyer would have already died from the first one shortly. But what we see in the containers is a red substance. And if we know one thing about a red substance, it can be poppy gel. Meaning that Harley Sawyer's life support system was made out of poppy gel that explains why he doesn't need to eat anything. And so, my other evidence comes around when we shut down his system. I feel like that his ability is that he's able to he's able to teleport his consciousness to electronics, like the TV. I think he's able to use this by putting his essence or his life force into the wires, transferring the electrons that are his consciousness. That, due to the poppy gel, had that side effect. This led Harley Sawyer to gain the ability to put his consciousness with electrons through wires, making it so his electrons would go back to his consciousness and go on to the computer screen in Chapter 5. However, I do feel like that Harley Sawyer, he isn't going to be our ally. Because, first of all, that he went through the backup of the weakness of the prototype. I highly think that doesn't make any sense if he was going to be our ally. So I do think that Harley Sawyer is playing a game where he's already hacked into the system and might be deleting the only thing that can kill the prototype. So I think that makes a lot of sense in the grand scheme of things. I think I could have made a prototype theory as well, but people have already done that work for me, and these are only 2 theories that I came up with myself, along with some help from outside sources and then combining it together. So, in conclusion, Harley Sawyer caused Lily Lovebraze to be active with Miss Gracie's brain because of vengeance, and also Lily Lovebraze was a skin suit, in my opinion, because, like I said, if we look at the document, it's talking about her hair, not her consciousness, so I do think that makes sense. And Harley Sawyer was actually doused in poppy gel in his life support systems that gave him the ability to connect with electricity and then use his electrons to travel his consciousness through other machines. Please like and subscribe. I want to get 1,000 subscribers before I become a senior in high school, or graduate, and I hope to see you on the next video.